we need to check, definitely check for traps.
Let Eamon and
One of the meat grinders.
let Eamon and me go in the front.
Alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna run down and grab that rope for
This is
to
an
reach
old
A, 'cause I
school
want it.
type of
And
dungeon
B,
grinder with just like
if I
different
leave it
encounters
there,
in every room. It's pretty
if any
cool.
kobolds come back through,
It's cool to do something like this once in a while. But actually, there's a lot more to this than just combat as well. They just haven't ran into it.
So, Dave, I'm just gonna run down there, blah blah blah, grab my rope.
Yeah, this corridor to the north, you can start to see a little bit of mist as well in this corridor, represented by the white mist here. So, but yes, are you guys going to continuing east then, I guess, or what?
Eamon, you want to go east or north?
Honestly, I say we go east real quick, because that'll bring us back to.
We're missing.
That'll bring us back around.
What'd you say we're missing?
No, you're not.
Alright, so you come to another four-way. You notice that to the north, there is when you get to this four-way here, you notice looks like what appears to be maybe another small room to the north. And then you see the tracks of the way that you have come previously, and you can see where your markings are on the floor as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I see some chalk marks set up. That's where the trap was.
Yep, that is correct.
Let's go in this room to the north.
I concur.
All right. So as you walk into this room, it appears to be a fountain type of chamber, and you notice that in the center of this small room, about 30 feet long, about 20 feet wide. 30 feet wide, about 20 feet long. To the next, you can see a door straight ahead. You see a large fountain that primarily dominates this small chamber. You can also see steam rolling off of the water pouring from its sides, which has a small obelisk in its center. And there's quite a bit of haze in this room as well. And you can see on the map there is haze as well. So,
alright, first thing I say is, do you want to use mage hands to check all the floor real quick?
Yeah, I was about to do that. I'm gonna summon a mage hand and sort of start pressing on the tiles.
okay. So one thing though, Amon and Wolf, as you guys were basically leading the pack here in this room, you did feel a sense of warmth coming from the steam. So this is definitely a warm water.
Turkish bath.
It's not scalding hot from the steam. It's just a it's sort of nice actually. It's warm.
It's a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Game room. Alright, well, I'm gonna move out the way so we can use the mage hand real quick.
Okay. And what exactly are you doing with this mage hand?
I'm sort of pushing down on the tiles.
Alright, you push on every single floor tile. Takes you a couple minutes to do so. Nothing happens.
Okay.
You see a couple tapestries on the wall as well. So, depicting dwarves standing there with their hammers and axes over their shoulders, slung over their shoulders.
So there's two tapestries, east and west, and then there's a door north, right?
That is correct.
And I can imagine that this being dwarven made in here, this was a place for upper class dwarves to have as a bathhouse.
I'm going to do a perception check on the fountain itself, checking for if I can tell if there's any type of
And still,
runes
they
or-
didn't do any other arcane checks on the previous encounter. I would have loved to give them lore about the
I'm
Sturge.
gonna do an arcane
They're just not
check.
taking advantage of.
Go ahead and do the checks. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, one at a time now, guys. Now, first, Mal, what were you doing again? You were doing a perception check on the fountain itself, correct? Okay.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about the dwarf drowning in this water.
Very nice perception roll. You also fiddle around and you're looking around the fountain. You really don't see a whole lot. Now you do part of your perception roll. You do notice that the water is warm because you stick your hand down into the water, and the water is actually quite warm. It's not it's like I was telling Wolf and Eamon about the actual temperature of the steam. This is probably coming from some kind of hot spring, probably somewhere in a cavern but it's definitely somewhere close. But it is definitely nice warm water.
I'll do an Arcana check on it.
Arcana check on what? The fountain?
Yes.
Okay.
Hang on.
I think
hang on.
Wolf was doing that as well, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it first, Blix. So
Okay,
Oops.
so
hold your horses.
My bad.
do you want to assist him, Blix, with an
Sure,
Arcana
I'll
check?
assist.
All right. Well, you need to be within an adjacent square of him to do that, because you will be assisting. And you can go ahead and give me a 1d20 Blix to determine if you will be able to assist him or not. If you do roll higher than 10 or higher, you will be assisting him, but seeing that you rolled a 1 and you failed, Wolf, you can go ahead and do your Arcana check at a -1.
Okay,
So
just pick one
Kadoja-
off of that.
Yeah, you rolled a 1 as well. So you see nothing. Double snake eyes in a row. Wow, that was really rare. So
I'm telling you, it's broken.
Yeah.
RNGesus, guys, is definitely not on your side tonight, Wolf. But no, you can't see anything magic of the fountain. You don't see any kind of arcanic runes, symbols, anything like that on it. So, all right. So
If you look at the last 4 rolls, everything was a 1. Mine was 11, but it's still all.
that's just the way it works. I can assure you that Roll20 is not broken. I can assure you guys. Eamon, what are you doing?
I want to inspect this tapestry. I wanted to see, is it a picture of anything important? And then B, I want to kind of feel around it, see if it's if there's anything behind it, maybe a hidden room or anything
Hey, what's
like
up,
that.
Pat? Thank you. It's my University of Central Florida hat. Go Knights. All right, so you're able to feel your way around the edges. You don't sense any traps on this tapestry. You don't see any kind of hidden panels or hidden doors behind it. Any secret hideaways, nothing like that. You do see, however, a little name that's kind of ingrained into the actual tapestry itself, and it says Droskar, and it shows a very proud dwarf there with his hammer up onto his shoulders. Very nice, claddily armored dwarf, and it says Droskar. It's not an actual, like a label or anything. It's sort of like kind of hidden into the designs of the tapestry itself, but it does say Droskar.
If Gimli
All right.
got it,
Well, I mentioned that to Gim and asked if that's significant in any way.
perception check.
I love it. Yep, same thing. The tapestry on the left-hand wall, another dwarf. Kind of looks the same. This dwarf, however, looks a little bit older, and it does also say Droskar that is hidden inside the actual woven tapestry itself. So you have a tapestry of a younger Droskar, which is in front of Alman, and in front of Gim and Malaville, which you could probably you'll notice that he is much older. Not much older, but to a dwarf, he's probably about 50, 60 years older. There's not a big significance in age. So,
Gim has a big smile on his face.
If we were to try to take these tapestries down, how heavy would they be
Very heavy.
to try to carry them?
well, it's probably about a 12-foot high ceiling, and the tapestry is about 10 foot. So it would probably require, well, it's not probably, it's going to require a strength check to pull them down, if you want to.
I'd leave them there until we clean the place out and we can take it back with us.
I
Or,
think they might be worth, tapestries might be worth something to collect.
Oh, they definitely have some value to them. They're definitely of a good quality.
as I may add, we can clean this thing out and use this as our fort.
Ah. Well, spoken like a true dwarf, but
That's a possibility as well. Or you could sell it, or you could do other things as well. So, but I don't know if you could really sell it, because then the dwarves would probably be all
Well,
hell bent
I'm a
on that. Yeah, correct, but you would not want the dwarves pissed off at you for trying to sell an ancient palace of a dwarven kingdom.
No.
So
I wouldn't.
However, they might
I wouldn't
appreciate
sell.
us saving them from the kobolds and
Excuse
give us a
me.
reward for it.
Excuse me. I think we can do a commercial thing, and it will benefit the dwarven society.
that sounds like a winner.
Especially in 5
Okay, so let's go up here and maybe listen to this.
Yeah,
door,
that's what I've been
check
trying
traps,
to
and
say.
see about heading.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
A couple
to
of them are
themselves.
impatient. All right, you can go ahead and give me a perception for hearing, please. You hear nothing. You don't hear anything.
All of a sudden, a fireball comes out and blows all 3 of you away.
I like
Check
it,
the
Gim.
traps.
Gim's DMing next week.
Get up front and center,
Why?
All right, Amonisis,
because we're gonna go through it.
you find no traps. You find no kind of runes, no magical runes, nothing, and the door is unlocked. And this door is just like the other doors in all of the other chambers, primarily wood, with a little bit of like a soft metal holding the door together and everything.
There's no gems on this door, is there?
There are no gems on this door, I promise. I would definitely have told you, especially with a 19, so...
Especially with a dwarf next to you.
We going through it?
Yes.
Alright,
All
so
right.
you guys open up the door, and you see another room. Now this room, however, is quite unique. When you open up this door, this is definitely a pretty beautiful room. This is we'll say the artwork that Gimli and Eamon, you guys are looking in. The floor's normal, like there's another door. You can see what appears to be possibly another door on the other side of this chamber as you guys kind of peer in a little bit. Now, what you do notice to your left and to your right, you notice statues. You notice on the eastern side, which I'm going to give you guys a little bit more. Why don't you guys kind of step in a little bit, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about as you guys. Now, don't move anywhere else.
Don't
Just stay
move
there.
anywhere else, man.
So, as you guys move into this room, you notice that on the right-hand side there are many statues of dwarves, and there's basically a 5-foot statue in every space. And these dwarves on the right-hand side, which is your east to the east, all have huge mallets and other blunt weapons. On the left-hand side, you can see that there are 2 rows of dwarf statues. The dwarf statues that are on the wall itself, which are right here. These dwarves are exactly like the wall to the east. So they all have large blunt objects and weapons like that. Now, there are another row of dwarven statues, which are of another type of material. These dwarves, however, have spears. These spears are protruding out. It looks like these dwarves are in a attacking position, and also you will notice. I'm going to give Gim. I'm going to give you a little bit more seeing as well. Now, Gim, you notice about 25 feet in the room on the left, you notice that there is what appears to be a dead kobold that is stuck to one of these spears. And that is basically everything that you guys see. And there is this room is 50 feet wide and 30 feet directly in front of you. And there is another door, identical wooden door, like you just passed through.
Immediately,
Does
I ask
Gimli-
everybody to freeze.
Does Gimli,
And
One at a time, guys. Eamon first, go ahead.
okay, immediately I ask everybody to freeze, and I tell them my first suspicion is those spears are going to move across the room and basically pin everybody like the trash compactor in Star Wars, and that's why that kobold's on that spear. And I want
Very
to
good.
look down and see if it looks like on the ground there's any indication that those dwarves with the spears slide in any way.
You guys are learning. Eamon, you're learning. So you can go ahead and give me a perception check for your checking for pressure plates and stuff like that on the tiles. Okay.
Well, I would have just called out for Mage Hand. We'd all move back in the room and just let him do it with.
Yeah,
We'll check for traps first.
Mage Hand does. How much does Mage Hand do? How much?
It's
Weight.
5 pounds, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's see. In front of you, Eamon, directly in front of you.
We can manipulate objects weighing 20 pounds or less.
You see on this floor tile directly in front of you, you see a camouflaged pressure plate. So very, very good job on coming up with your perception. So you do notice that there is a pressure
Is there
plate in
any
front
way
of you.
that I can safely mark that with my chalk?
Sure. I will allow you guys to mark this as well, and I'm going to go to my map layer real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Stand by.
All right. I kind of give a sigh and
Okay.
turn
there we go.
around a little bit and tell them.
Can you see that?
What? Yeah, I can see that fine. And just tell the rest of the group that
What's up, Anime
obviously
Freak?
there is traps around here in this room, and then tell
Good
them,
to see you, Anime.
what I perceive goes on in this room, and that I've already found one trap.
All right. So Gimli, what were you wanting to do?
I'd advise you to get out of the room and let Eamon do his business.
You know that the dwarves, Gim, can come up with some pretty nasty type of traps.
That's
All
why
these
I'm
traps
saying.
and the fort still fell. How sad for dwarves.
If I remember correctly, this is just like a chessboard death trap. Just like one. It's not a chessboard, but it's just like one.
Well, I want to discuss real quick. Does it look like? Can I tell any indication from looking at that trap if I can judge if it's a light touch trap or is it a heavy touch trap, like a full body, or is it something?
It's probably going to
'cause
take
what I want to do is
a full body to trigger this. It's not a very weak, simple pressure plate. It's actually part of the floor itself to make it look like the tile itself. So it's probably going to take a significant bit of weight to trigger one of these things.
And now, though, I suggest you get out of the room and let him do it.
okay, yeah, because I was going to.
Well, as
I
long
was going
as I
to
keep standing right where I'm at, I haven't tripped a trap, so.
Yeah, you haven't tripped it yet.
And I'm staying outside myself.
You do notice,
Keyword,
Eamon,
yet.
you notice that there are there are sort of like a scrape mark. You're not able to determine if it goes from east to west or if it goes from west to east, because these scrape marks, you can look visually and you can tell with your perception roll. You can see that they start there and they end here. So basically, at the edge of each statue, there are scrape marks. And the thing is about these marks, they're not so obvious to where you can just look at it and say, oh, I mean, you actually had to kind of look to see this.
Can I, when I was making that perception check, did I notice the
very good, anime freak. Very
footsteps
cool.
of the Kobold in any direction that he went when he entered this room?
Now, what were you wanting to do now?
When I was looking around on the floor, the Kobold is dead on the spear over there, right?
Correct. Oh yeah, he's definitely dead. That's for sure. He hasn't moved since you came in here.
Did I notice whether he came in from this side of the room? Did I see any footprints in addition to the scrape marks, or not?
No. I mean, what do you mean? Like, for any more scrape marks? Is that what you're saying?
No, footprints from that Kobold. I wanted to know whether he came in from this spa room, or if he came in from the room from that door adjacent to us, across from us.
Yeah, you're not able to determine that.
Okay.
Very good observing, though. But no, you're
Can
not
we
able
tell
to
how
determine it.
decayed the body is?
From where you're at, well, you can't see it because, well, you're kind of in view, but probably the stench isn't too bad. So I would say probably a couple days.
All right. Now, my next question is, how?
They're definitely being cautious. Usually they just jump right in, guys.
On the floor.
But
this is a
they're
pretty
being
big room.
really
How do you
cautious, and
wanna-
I'm proud of them. You can tell me which way you're going to look, and I will do perception checks for you.
Okay. Well, I get my chalk. I keep my chalk out, and I know the square to my left is fine.
Yep.
So, what about the squares that are in front of me?
The square
Or
in
to my
front of
left.
you were able to tell that was fine. That appeared to be a normal floor tile, and that's for right now. That's what you could have told. Now this one is here as well. You can tell that this floor tile is fine as well, because everything that was in an adjacent square to you is basically what I gave you a roll for.
Okay. Then I go ahead and mention to the group that I'm gonna move forward and try to work across the room to the other door with checking the floor. But if I trip a trap, I am stand back from the door, because I'm going to be hauling ass towards that fountain.
Good luck.
So I'll move forward
All right.
on where I know that it's safe.
I have pretty moderate DCs for this, so very nice roll. You are able to tell that there is something not good, something funky with this tile here, and something funky with this tile as well.
It's a checkerboard. No.
Do I notice anything on the two in front of me that are diagonal?
I would tell you everything. I'm doing your rolls based on adjacent squares.
Okay. So
You guys are looking at Eamon. You guys are peering around the door, and you can see him kind of tiptoeing on all these tiles, and it's kind of funny actually.
Hey, Mabel, Blackswix might want to get out of that room just in case he does, because I think all those
Good
statues
thinking.
come across.
Good
the room.
thinking. Good thinking.
Okay, so I would be free to move diagonally to my
Adjacent.
northeast, right?
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Like I said, everything adjacent to you, I am basically gauging your rolls on all adjacent tiles. So all 8 tiles around you, I'm gauging the rolls on. Wow, you are so lucky, dude. You are slamming these rolls. All right. You find another bad tile here.
And all this time, I'm marking them with my chalk.
Yep. He's lucky. He needed a 15. That's exactly what he needed. So you find another pressure plate here.
That one hurt.
Alright, so on this tile here, you're looking at all of the tiles around you, and they look okay, but you're just not 100% sure.
Can you check
Okay.
again?
I'm going to
No.
do this.
One roll.
Would you like me to come up there and check?
Let me ask you this, Dave. If I move back and then move to a different part of the room that I haven't had a check on squares, could I re-roll?
Sure, but I'm not going to count the tiles that are adjacent to you right now. But sure, yeah.
No. But if I moved here and then moved here, that would put me fresh with the tile, at least the tile that's directly in front of me, right?
Correct. And the one behind you and the 3 to your right. Correct.
Okay.
You find nothing.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the 2
Then-
tiles in front of the door that are mysterious, and the 2. So basically, it's this tile here is mysterious. This tile here is mysterious. This tile here is mysterious. So is this one?
I'm
And
going to
this
ask
one.
Eamon if he wants me to come up and do a perception check.
Yeah, I can step back and he can come all the way to the square I'm in, right?
Sure, as long as he
There's
doesn't.
one right on the other side of that, where you're at.
Sure, as
Oh,
long as
okay,
you don't
yeah, that
step on one of
That one's still clear.
the marked squares that Eamon Isis has marked. Sure.
Yeah, so he
Feel
can
free
move
to
up
come
to
up.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you want, what I'll do is...
He's not going to
since
get
I
the same
have
bonuses
a
because
super
of
high dexterity,
Eamon
what I
Isis
can do
has
is
skills in
we can clear the
thievery.
room
He
out,
does not.
and then
so
I can just
I'll let him
step
check,
on one of
but
those,
it's not
and
going to
if
be
it
the same
triggers it,
DC.
Like I said, haul ass back.
All right. So what are you doing, Mal?
I'm going to do a perception check for if I can tell if the floors are got the pressure plates and stuff.
Can Isis assist him?
No, because he's already made a roll for this section. So I'm gonna make a DM call and say no.
Alright.
All right. So you notice that right here, there's something funky with this tile, and you're getting a little bit of advice from Eamon on what to look for. So the way I did that, Mal, was I set your DC higher than I set Eamon's because you're not a rogue. You're not 100% proficient in looking for traps and other mechanisms like that. But I did raise the DC. You're fine. So you think that tile right there to your front left is a little fishy.
Alright, so
Okay.
I toss him my chalk and tell him to just kind of...
They've done this.
Just be real careful and scratch it.
they've done this room very well.
And that would be the black market
I'm proud of
you
them.
left there for us.
They didn't just charge right in like normal. They're
And that
getting
means that-
they're getting smarter.
We need to
Well-
check anymore because we should be able to go all the way to this.
Yeah, I'll